Alright, so my name is Mr. Carter. You're watching me live right here on Richmond TV. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Watch every sports update. And the show is Sports Chat. Sports Chat on Richmond TV with Dasilva. Making sure that all misses our show with for anything. That's where you're going to get the up-to-speed information about every sports update. Dasilva, thank you. Big ups, my bro.
Hi, my name is Abinawa, and if you want the latest sports updates, then you gotta watch Sports Chat with Dasilva on Richmond TV.
Hello! What time is it? It's time for Sports Chat with Dasilva on Richmond TV. Yes, it is that time of the night. This is the place you want to be, Richmond TV, for your latest authentic sport response source, sporting news. Just bear with me here because we will deliver as always. Thank you once again for joining us today. Just say a thereof. You have no clue, you have no idea what is going to happen today. Some results, of course, some teams were happy, some teams were sad, but at the end of the day, it's win, lose, or draw. That makes the game so fantastic. As I always say, this is your home of sports. Now, this program, Sports Chat with Dasilva, live on Richmond TV, is proudly Agape Traditional LLC. So program, program naka. Bo program Agape. Yes. Ope kente. Ope chow chow. Ope asunkai. Ope komadie. Wafrang toma. First ye bredodo. Ye di bonre aba America krom. Udi kente ba kutu niye memua. Wait no ebitiu. Say Agape Traditional LLC. So house waker. A broadening cartier. Say really for your weddings, for your baby shower, for your funeral, for your deco, everything. Your point of contact should be Agape. Mami form number no into it has say with Agape Traditional LLC, you don't go wrong. Omo number 240-898-6931. Bisia Sisubio Boko 240-898-6931. Free. Na kente crowd they say ton traditional way, ton chow, ton kumade. Na se so free. Na a voice ne beti suwe ye. Hello, sweet succulent voice. Oba sewa obejoso. Me see baby a upe bia she bia obe yaba. Na de wo tra the Agape Traditional LCBD ago. Agape omu kwemu twitwe. They got you. Mon frère na yendidwa. So this program is proudly sponsored by Agape Traditional LLC. Thank you very, very much for sponsoring Sports Chat. Now, let me go straight and introduce my panelists. Today, I have, to join me in the studio today is Kevin. Like I always introduce him, he's one of the few who are fortunate. He can play at the same time. And he can also talk sports. He understands the game very, very well, especially soccer. I don't know whether his team won or his team lost. I didn't check it, but he will tell us when he comes in. Welcome tonight, Kevin. He said today he's known as the truth. He will tell us why the truth. Kevin, welcome to Sports Chat with Dasilva.
Thank you, Dasilva. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for having me again. I feel like there needs to be some sort of truth teller on this show, so I have decided to come on as the truth teller. Like you said, I really love being on Sports Chat with Dasilva. We come here to share our opinions on what we saw throughout the weekend and throughout the week. Please subscribe to Richmond TV. Keep it locked on Sports Chat with Dasilva, because today is going to be a whole bunch of heat. People are coming with agendas. Even the host is throwing small jabs, but we will not say nothing. So we will wait until the pleasantries is done, and then we shall get into it. So, like I said, thank you for watching us. Today is going to be a banger of a show because there's a lot of things that we need to discuss, And like I said, just please share the link, subscribe, because I'm telling you, today you're not gonna want to miss it. If you do miss it, share it to somebody else. But I'm gonna wait my turn, and we'll be right back.
All right. 5 seconds, Kevin, before you take leave, or before you go on hold. The
Don't do
truth.
that. Don't do
You said
that.
the truth. Just tell the viewers the truth. So you mean, oh, I should not jump the gun. Okay, Kelvin don't want
Don't
me to jump the gun.
don't
Okay,
jump
let me
it.
go
You
ahead and
can do it.
okay, let me go ahead and quickly introduce my second guest. Hey, and that day, yes, he and Kano Crow. Yes, he and Kano Crow. I was first chat. Until you got suffer back up. I think from the way he's talking, viewers, I think his team won. Yeah, that's why he's coming out hard. To say Kevin's team. Anyways, Fifi Blankson. He loved the game. He's that the team lose, they lose or they don't lose. He's still behind them. He knows that his team is not performing well. So when it comes to sports chat, oh, it's a lose or draw. But when they are playing, like, yeah, let's go. Viewers, let's welcome Fifi. Today he came with another name, a long name, Asembe Nkreni. Fifi, welcome to Sports Chat.
Yo, thank you so much for having me once again. You're one of your very good panelists. You know me there. Every time Richmond TV comes on, I am on game to be on there to listen because you know me there. Me when them I can't. So everybody, don't forget to share, like, comment on Richmond TV and subscribe by Dasilva. And also, Charlie, yesterday we have a new sponsor on the line. Agape LLC. Right, when my Tim Maggie. And didn't cry. Put let you know. Said Charlie, all the sauce and then Charlie taste the better the product to me. So when you get a chance, please go out there and reach out to Auntie Maggie LLC. Her number is going to be posted as we talk through it. It's important that we let our sponsors understand that we value what they do for us. So please, Charlie, moi, mutie wa Ghana, mutie wa Fiji, mutie wa Russia, Ghana for the Ghanaians, Nigerians, Americans, whoever is listening to Richmond TV, please, if you need some kente or any kind of beautiful style or anything like that, reach out to Agape LLC. Well, once again, it's Monday. We're bringing you the heats. As you can see, so many fixtures have happened. So today I've come as Manchester United sporting director because that's what we need. So as you guys can see, me, I come as it is. So Obi saw the truth about Obi says whatever it is. I'll come and I'll represent Manchester United because what we bleed blood, we bleed red. United. All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Fifi, he said today he's Manchester United. Long say give us a break. Anyways, so there have been various sporting activities that went on over the weekend. And today we are here to discuss and deliberate some of the results. So quickly, let me jump to the Spanish La Liga. La Liga. Hey, La Liga. Is it going to be one way something? So earlier today, Girona beat Real Vallecano by 3 goals to nil, which was expected though. Real Madrid continue winning by beating Sevilla by a goal to nil. Las Palmas drew with Osasuna. Betis walloped Atletico Club by 3 goals to 1. And on Saturday, for the first time, Barcelona won without conceding a goal, 4-0. Alaves and Mallorca 1-1, and Almeria held Atletico Madrid to 2-2. Kevin, Almeria Atletico Madrid 2-2. Wasn't that a shocker for you?
I mean, of course, Atletico has a semi-good form, playing a team that they're supposed to beat, and they come up with a draw. I mean, it's always surprising, but that's why you play the game. I think when the season wanes, when the season is at a point where these games start to matter, there's a lot of factors that come into it: fatigue, injuries. It's just like I said, some teams are playing for more than others. Like I said, teams at the bottom, when the season is coming to an end, are playing for more than the teams that are in good position. For example, Atletico is not going to win the league, and they're firmly in the top four. So it's like they're not necessarily playing for anything. They're just playing to kind of keep their position, right? And usually, if you play like that, and the team in the back is like playing for something more, like to stay into the league or to be pretty much fend off relegation, because that's pretty much what it's all about. These are the results you're gonna come up with. I think Atletico has gotten to a point where they're no longer in the league, so they're just gonna play. I think they're still gonna be top four, but it's a very dangerous thing to do when you kind of let your guard down and you let teams that you're supposed to beat. Well, at least they didn't lose; they got a result, but still, it's kind of one of those things where you want to finish on the right note, but at the end of the day, it's not a big deal for Atletico. They're still firmly in the top four position or in the running for the top four. This is necessarily not necessarily a big deal at all. If they were in a title race, this would be a lot bigger deal, but they're really not. The title race is pretty much a foregone conclusion, in my opinion. So everybody's just playing for second, third, and fourth at this point. So it was a shocker, but it's nothing. It's nothing to stress about. To be honest, it's just they're just playing to pretty much to see out the season so they can make it to the Champions League, pretty much. So it was a shocker result, but I don't think it's a result that we need to kind of focus on. I just think it's just one of those things that happen. So that's just my opinion.
Kevin thinks it's one of those things that happened. And Fifi, the same on the same topic. So Atletico went ahead just under 2 minutes of the game, and Almeria equalized 27th minutes of the game. Atletico went ahead again through Paul, the Argentine, in the 57th minute, and the same person equalized 64th minute. So look at how the goals were scored. Do you think Atletico Madrid, underrated their opponents, and even though they knew that it was an away game, Fifi?
They said bad habits tend to travel. The two goals that Maria scored is the same habit they allowed in the Inter Milan game. It's when you're known to be defensively sound and you're sleeping on the back end. The Maria first goal, it wasn't like they broke Atletico Madrid down and scored. The whole game now, Atletico Madrid dominated the game, like from start to finish. Of course, they played their stressing game, but bad habit cost them points. So I honestly think that it wasn't based on watching the game. It wasn't based on Maria doing anything to really break them down. It was more so the habit that they picked up from Inter Milan is what kind of cost them. And when I say habit, it's individual mistakes. Individual mistake caused those two goals to happen and it caused them to draw points. But if you watch the game, even if you didn't watch the whole game and you saw highlights, Atletico Madrid dominated the entire game. They had most of the possession, most of the shots on goal. Everything was dominated by them. Like Kevin said, it's just one of those games. So that's my take.
All right, yes. I mean, it was kind of shocking, but I mean, it is what it is. Let me quickly go ahead. So Real Madrid still sits on the summit of the league with 65 points. Girona second, 59. Barcelona 57. Atletico 52. So I think at this point, Diego Simeone will be just pushing and vying for UEFA Champions League spot, as he always does, and he does it in grand style. Quickly, 30 seconds. Fifi, Barcelona won by 4-0. Do you think now BB it's just fluke? And for the first time, they did not concede.
I'm about Getafe. It's not the game.
It's not any big deal. Yeah.
The first few minutes, Greenwood had a few chances. They're still open. It's not anything. Yeah, I feel like say goals to the crowd. Like Barcelona is a very interesting team, but Charlie, it was a good win. Don't get it twisted. It was a good win, but it's Getafe. They should do better. Let's see their next opponent, who I think is a tough opponent. And if they score 4 again, then I'll be impressed.
Fifi says, please, it's Getafe. So Barca fans that were testing me yesterday, Dasilva, who your team, Fifi said, won't talk about. Calvin, your take on that match?
I mean, congratulations. You don't give up a goal. I don't know what else Barcelona fans want us to say. I mean, at this point, you're gonna play well now that your coach wants to leave the town. Now that your coach wants to leave, you want to show that you can actually play defense. That's been their issue the whole entire season. Is they cannot defend. It's very simple. And to be honest with you, Kunde playing as a right back is the wrong decision. He plays at a center back at Sevilla. So that in itself is probably the same issue in the back that Bayern was having playing Upamecano as a right back. Kunde is not a right back. He plays center back in Sevilla. I'm not saying he can't play it because he's more nimble than Upamecano, but putting somebody in a position that they're not used to in a league with players that are very skilled, and it's just like you said, I think maybe they've now gotten used to it. We'll see what happens moving forward, but hey, you beat Getafe for nothing. I don't know what else you want me to say. I mean, it's Getafe. We'll see what happens.
Okay, it's Getafe. Quickly, I will just brush through the Serie A because there wasn't any top liner. But on Inter, 4-0. Now Inter is trying to say we are ready for this. We are ready for this. And they sit on the summit of the league table with 66 points with a game in hand, followed by Juventus with 57 points. And Inter has only lost one match. Can we confidently say the Scudetto is for Inter Milan? Kevin, do you think Juve will put on some fights and, what do you think?
Oh, I said this before. This is a foregone conclusion. Inter Milan is
Okay.
going to win the Scudetto. They're the most.
Also,
They have the most cohesion when it comes to the we come to that league in terms of they know who they are, they know how they play. If you watch them in the Champions League, they just know who they are, they know how they play, and they do it very, very well consistently. They're a consistent team. That's the word of the day: is consistency. They just show the most consistency. I mean, Juventus has some highs here, but they'll just go ahead and lose again. They shouldn't lose, or draw again. They shouldn't draw. It's just they're not the same Juventus. I said this before. Their DNA is off. They need to go ahead and find who they are. Certain teams have DNAs that they've been successful with, and they need to go ahead and figure out that because this thing they're trying to play is just not working for them as a team. So right now, I think Inter Milan is the most true to themselves in terms of it's not anything fancy. They play strong defense and they attack. Like I said, they attack as a team. They're going wide with the wing backs. They play within themselves. I think that's the key. They play within themselves. There's not one player that's trying to save the team. They're playing as a team. Every time you see them, obviously the strikers are scoring, but if you watch them play, it's not one person or this guy. No, they don't have any standouts. Pretty much they don't really have any standouts. They just have all solid players, right? When you come to Juventus, they have Chiesa. He came off an injury, so he may not be the same, but they don't have the same cohesion. So in terms of the Scudetto, it's a foregone conclusion. I think Inter Milan is going to run away with this league easily, in my opinion.
all right, thank you very much, Kevin. Fifi, what do you think? Inter Milan, is it a foregone conclusion or Juventus will do a last minute fight?
So let's look at the stats. Last year, around this time, Inter Milan had 35 goals. They had shot 259 towards the opponent, and their expected goals was 34.66 out of the 35 that they scored, which means their expected goal per shot was like 0.13. That means that every time they shot the ball, their chances was a little bit minute. Now this year, when you look at their stat, they have 73 goals, 491. This is the exact same time, 491. They have 71 expected goals, 71.3. So in conclusion, Inter Milan is going to win the Scudetto. Um, Juventus is racing against facts. They're racing against time, and also they're running out of games. At this point, enough for Juventus to basically overthrow Inter Milan. Inter Milan has to drop 2 games and the head-to-head with Juventus, and Juventus can only afford to lose 1 game, and they are head-to-head with Inter. So when you do the math, that's not gonna, unless it's they lose to Lecce or Cagliari or something like that. Inter Milan is gonna run with this. They just score more goals. Their goals conceded is 25 compared to last year. They were conceding like it's 60 goals. So, and last year they were in fourth place around this time. The number of games played, they were in fourth place. This time they're in first place with like a game in hand. So that game in hand will be that head-to-head against Juventus, and I think it'll be Juventus.
All right, so Fifi thinks the Scudetto is straight heading to Inter Milan. Quick. On the same Fifi, for some reason, ever since the special one, Jose Mourinho, was asked to leave Roma, I don't know. They find some consistency. Anytime new coach comes in, these new players want to prove something. Do you think Mourinho was the problem, or the players did not understand Mourinho and the results that he was getting in Roma, Fifi?
I think it's a new coach's bounce. At the end of the day, of course, every time you're playing within a structure, which is pack the bus, and then actually counter with fast wingers, it was working. I think the players quit on Mourinho, and when players quit on Mourinho, he gets upset. At the same time, too, you have to support Mourinho. When he came into the program, he told them, "This is my game plan. This is how I play. These are the players that I want." Oh, we can't get you the players that you want. Okay, I'll work with what I know. And that's where he went. They went and got Matic at that season and stuff like that. Yeah, he played one season and then he went away. Chris Smalling and all those kids. At the end of the day, he took a team that had lost so much confidence. And I feel like Roma is like the Manchester United of Italian soccer. They're this team that feels like they need to be the best team in Serie A, but they will not spend the money to keep the team. At least the difference between us and Roma is, we have the money and we want to get to where we want to get to. But Roma is kind of living in this world where, okay, let's trust the young kids. And he did a lot of good things with the young, like Afeni John or whatever it is.
Afeni John, yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot with him. I think that Ghana for it's like, now he's on the bench. He can't really get playing time. I think the new coach now, Pen has him. I don't think that it's not about the boy not knowing how to play.
No, he's even sent to a team, a different team, Cremonese.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, it's not Mourinho. I think that it's a new coach's bounce. They will come back to earth in 3 weeks when they play Genoa. Genoa this season has beaten them in the first match, and I think Genoa has that number because of the way they play. They play a quick direct counter attack and attack, and Roma tries to play this new passing. This new coach is kind of like this, or tiki taka guy. It ain't gonna work in Italy. So it's about it. Eventually, I think the players let Mourinho down and they set him up. But eventually, they're gonna do the same thing to this coach. So they'll write it out and they'll work hard to get to a place. But next year, I'm gonna go back to my old ways and just, So we'll see. I think the only good coach that ever did anything for them is Spalletti. And unless they get Spalletti back, man, I don't think Roma is doing anything.
All right, Kevin, briefly, your take on is it Mourinho's fault? Is it the players sabotaging, or is just a new coach? Anytime a new coach comes to the club, every player wants to prove a point, of course, and gets the starting lineup.
I think it's a combination of a couple of things. I think Jose Mourinho is a type of coach that if you hire him, you need to give him the autonomy to shape the team the way he wants to shape it, because he has a philosophy in mind and he needs the players to do it. So it's like giving Pep a team and not giving him the resources to shape the team the way he wants to shape it. It's just not going to work. So even with that being said, he still took this team, and in 2022, he won the Conference League title. That's the first trophy Roma has won in 6 decades. So to say it's his fault, I'm just saying he's the only manager in 6 decades to bring you any trophy. Tin Cup Grandpa, maybe Teacup Grandpa, you haven't even got any, and this man comes in there and gives you guys a trophy. So I don't believe it's necessarily a coach's fault. I believe it comes to a time where he doesn't have the resources nor the players to fulfill what he wants to do, which leads to frustration from the players because they can't necessarily do what the coach wants to do, and that leads to frustration from the coach because the players cannot do what he wants them to do. So I think it's a combination of both. He just didn't have the players to play the way he wanted to play. So it's one of those things where it's best for both parties, right? As soon as he left, whatever the new coach, I've seen some results from Roma where they've been actually getting some good results. Maybe they just have the place to play a different style. I think that's just what it is. Jose Mourinho basically did the best he could with those players, even though they didn't fit what he wanted to do. He still got them he still got them some results. He got them a trophy. So I think he did the best he could. But I think at this point, he just didn't get the backing from the upper management to kind of build the team where he wanted to build it. And since like you said, I think Fifi said it before, they don't want to spend the money. So if you don't want to spend the money to help Jose Mourinho build you a dynasty, then it just is what it is. So I think, like you said, maybe the players are, like I said, if it's a new coach out, usually what happens is when somebody's coaching, there are players that don't usually play under them, right? There are players that maybe they're in a doghouse or they're coming back from injury and they don't usually play. So when a new coach comes in, it's a new slate, right? So every player wants to do their best so they can play. So it's kind of like a new coach bounce sort of things, right? All these players are trying hard to get into the team. So it's one of those things, and maybe this style just fits the team. So it could be a combination of everything, but I don't blame Jose Mourinho. I'm just saying he just didn't have the right tools to make it work. So, like I said, I think to be honest, it's just best for both parties.
All right, thank you very much, Karen and Fifi. Both. I'll just brush through the league.
Let me
Paris
add
Saint Germain.
let me add one last thing. Viewers, if you
Sure,
want to
Fifi, go
listen,
ahead.
Jose Mourinho did an interview with Rio Ferdinand. If you want to listen to the reasons as to his sacking at Roma, how he felt, I mean, he's a very, when you watch his interviews, a very characteristic, charisma individual. I think you guys will enjoy. So if you just go to YouTube, and then type in, Jose Mourinho's interview with Rio Ferdinand, and you see the entire interview there. Check it out, and then, just send your opinions and your comments as soon as you subscribe to Richmond TV, and if there's something you want us to bring up based on what you heard from that, we can discuss it on. And you can give it to Dasilva, and he would, bring it up next time if possible.
All right, thank you very much, Fifi. So Paris Saint Germain still sitting on top. All right, thank you. So Paris Saint Germain still sits on top of the league with 54 points. And I think at this point, it's still going to be the same old. Let me quickly go to the German Bundesliga. Still unbeaten. Xavi Alonso with his Leverkusen guys are still cruising, sailing day in, day out. They are getting closer to the league title. Kevin, is it a foregone conclusion? Is it the end of the road for Bayern Munich dynasty?
It looks like, well, for this, let me just say this: for this season, it looks like it's the end of the road. I watched Bayern play, and Harry Kane had to literally save them. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Tuchel he's playing a different system than he played with us. He has better players, in my opinion, and just in terms of individual quality, but he cannot get them to play the same way that he got Chelsea to play at one point, or even the previous managers. There's something wrong with that team. There's just something wrong, and I don't know what it is. It's just I watch them play, and it just seems like they don't know what they're doing. Like is that's what it looks like to me. Like I watch them play, and they'll pass the ball in the back, and when they get into the box, it just looks like they don't know what they're doing. Like there's no instruction. Like Sane is just free roaming everywhere. He's everywhere he wants to be. Like there's no structure. Like they don't know where they need to be. Harry Kane had to do some wonders just to get them a victory. I mean, you can't sustain some sort of thing. You can't sustain that way of playing. to just not have structure in place. I'm watching them play and I don't know what they're trying to do. And if I'm watching a game and I don't know what the team is trying to do, that means they're lost. Because every team has a DNA. Some teams are just sitting back to counter. We know what to, but with Bayern, I don't know what they're doing. They have majority of the ball, but they don't do anything with it. Yeah, they get chances here and there because they have individual quality. But in terms of a team game, in terms of what the coach is trying to implement on the field, it just does not look like either the players are understanding it or it's just they're just not capable of doing what he's asking them to do. So it's if this is the way they have to win, it's a foregone conclusion. Because Bayern Leverkusen is completely different. I mean, if you watch the Bayern Leverkusen game, the first goal was ridiculous. Both their goals were ridiculous. The first one, it was a cross, and he literally hit it over the goalkeeper. Second one was a long range shot. The goalkeeper is in his hands. He points it, and it goes around him. They have something called luck. When it's your year, things like that go on for you. It's their year. For them to score the two goals they scored, that's how I know it's a foregone conclusion. Go back and watch the highlights if you haven't seen it. Those are not goals that you like, oh, they scored. No. Both of them were lucky goals. But if you need to win a championship or the league, things like this need to happen. Almost every league champion has had something like this happen for them. In any league across the league, at some point you need something to go in your favor. And I think at this point I can confidently say that the race is over. Bayern Leverkusen will definitely win this league. Bayern Munich is just not. They're not the same team. They don't have the same structure they used to have. They don't have the same intimidation factor. People are not afraid of playing Bayern anymore. It's just they're just not the same. So, with that being said, I just think that Xavi Alonso has these boys playing in a way that when I watch them play, I know exactly what they are trying to do because they all are in their spots, they're in their positions, and they do exactly what they're trying to do. Compared to when I watch Bayern, where it's just chaotic all over the place. So, with that being said, I honestly believe that Bayern Leverkusen, with the structure they have, with the mentality they have, and they've gotten to this point where they're undefeated, I think that usually when you're on a team that's going for something that's never been done before, you usually really go all out. So, for example, like when the Warriors were trying to break the Bulls record, if this is a basketball record, they went all out to get that record, right? When the Patriots were trying to go undefeated, same thing. So I think this is at a point where they're also trying to go for something, and they will not let this go. This is what they're trying to do, and I think that they will be able to win the league. I don't know if they'll go undefeated the whole year, but I know they'll win the league. It's just because Bayern is just a mess. That's pretty much it. They're just a mess.
All right, Kevin thinks Xavi Alonso will go ahead to win the German Bundesliga. Fifi, you think it's a foregone conclusion, as especially now that Bayern Munich are struggling to win as they did over the weekend, 90 minutes go, and of course the England captain came all the way to save them. You think we should say it's okay, Leverkusen, congratulations, better luck next time, Bayern Munich, Fifi?
This is one thing I'll say. Looking at the game, Bayern went back to the old Bayern system. He no longer went with a 3-back. He went with a 4-back. He had the Pavlicek kid. He had like an attacking 10. As much as the game ended 2-1, Bayern actually dominated most of the game. There are two fixtures in there that Bayern Leverkusen has to be very careful of. If they lose those fixtures and Bayern somehow win, I think Bayern's next matchup is against Freiburg. If they lose that game, the title is going to Bayern Leverkusen. If Bayern wins all their games, they're two very, like Bayern Munich wins all their games, they're two very importantly dangerous game on Bayer Leverkusen's lineup. Their game against Eintracht Frankfurt, Borussia Dortmund, and somehow something is calling a Union Berlin draw. Those three games, if Bayer Leverkusen draw points, they'll have to win the league. I believe they'll win the league either with 3 points or they'll win the league on goal differential.
All right, cool. All right. Fifi says 3 points difference or goals differential.
Because Dortmund dropped points this weekend too. They weren't supposed to have done that. So
You're right. All right. If you just join us, you're watching Sports Chat with Dasilva live on Richmond TV. Kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's also live on Facebook. When you go to Richmond TV Facebook page, it is there happening live. Leave a comment, like, follow the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that anytime we go live, you'll be one of the few that will get quick updates that we are live, or an alert that we are live. And this program is proudly sponsored by Agape Traditional LLC for all your authentic African wear, kente, chow chow, necklace, gold necklace, bracelets, funeral things, baby shower, adorns, everything. Please let them be your point of contact. They got you. Let me quickly switch gears and go to the EPL. Some few results that took place on Saturday. Man City went all the way to beat Bournemouth, but a goal to nothing. It was anticipated. Aston Villa beat Nottingham Forest by 4 goals to nothing, 4 goals to 2. Brighton and Everton 1-1. Crystal Palace and Burnley 3-0. I watched the Man City and the Bournemouth game. I think if Bournemouth had been clinical, they would have punished them. Is it a Pep overthinking, or because I gave it to Pep, like this is pure game management? The squad was augmented a little bit, but you saw that he managed the game very well. And this order, that is how Alex Ferguson was winning the league. That December, January, February, that is where your game management always have to come into experience. Fifi, you think City, don't you think they are struggling to win game? Or it's like, because if Bournemouth have been clinical, they would have snatched a draw or something. What do you think of Pep winning this 1 goal project, slightly win and all those stuff? What do you think?
So that game, right? The game was actually. I didn't understand the newness on the left wing part, but I think for the first time, Bournemouth has given people the recipe to beat Manchester City. Now they also played with no fear, and that's something Bournemouth came to play. And like you said, if the boys were a little bit clinical, yes. I think Pep, like I always tell you, I feel like Pep tries to make things difficult for him so he has fun coaching. I honestly think so, because first half, it was all over the place. It was frantic, back and forth. I'm like, hey, Man City, like they couldn't. It's like their pressing was not working against Bournemouth. The reason why it wasn't working was because Bournemouth's left side basically took Manchester City's left side out of the game. Foden is becoming a very, very good number 10. I like the way he's playing. I like the way he sees the field. I like the way he's working diligently and working really hard to link up the play with Holland. Like I said, the game was very up and down, and if Bournemouth had taken all their chances that they had, it would have been very interesting. But I don't think that night Bournemouth was going to have enough to beat Man City. Why? When they started having those chances and they were missing, I was like, okay, this is not. Eventually, you don't give champions that many chances because they'll punish you. And of course, Holland last minute. When you look at the scoreline, you think Man City dominated. No, Bournemouth dominated the game. They just couldn't. They weren't clinical enough. So I tip my hat off to Bournemouth. They really showed up and played.
I also agree to that, because watching the game, I kept on saying, "Come on, Bournemouth, you can do this. Come on, Bournemouth, you can do this. Come on, man. At least you can get 1-1 or something." But unfortunately, they lost that game. They played very well. Kevin, what's your take on that match?
It was a good match. I think I think Man City has been sort of a super team. So when they see a game that's like this, people say, "Oh, Bournemouth outplayed them." They didn't. I'm sorry. Bournemouth did not outplay Man City. Man City has 63 possessions, 60% of possession. They have more shots on goal. Their pass accuracy, they have more passes. Bournemouth had some chances they could have scored. But in terms of playing better than Man City, they did not play better than Man City. It's just Man City's not destroying everybody like they used to destroy teams. So people are now saying that, oh, maybe Man City should. No, it's a game. It's an EPL game. They have Champions League, like you said. They played Nunez, which is something different. If you watch the formation they played, they basically played a three back. They didn't play a four. They had John Stones as the four center back, but he didn't play center back. He just tried something different. It's just a funky formation he tried, just to see what he can do against teams that like to sit back and park the bus. The only thing he didn't expect was that Bournemouth actually did not sit back. They came and attacked. They attacked Man City. Usually teams don't do that. So that's kind of maybe what threw off his quote unquote his idea in the beginning is to see what this formation can do against a team that quote unquote parks the bus. But Bournemouth, credit to them, came to play the game. These you also have professionals on your end. You have players that you pay on a weekly basis. So they also came out and they pushed the pace. They pushed Man City, they pressed Man City, and it made it a little tough on them because nobody usually presses Man City. So I think that was the difference in the game is that Pep thought they were going to do one thing and they just completely did the opposite. So it took them a while for them to kind of get a hang of it, but eventually they were able to, like you said, champions or teams that win games just find a way to win. It's not always going to be pretty. I'm pretty sure we've seen games. Bayern Leverkusen, we're talking about a team that's maybe the most informed team in the world. There's games that where they just 90th minute they have to win by a header here or the opposition hits the pool here. It's just that's the game. It happens. So I think this is just one of those games where they just needed a result. It wasn't supposed to be pretty. Just get me a result and get me out of here. So Bournemouth played better than we thought they would play. Let's just say that's. I think that's what we want to say. They played better than we thought they would play, but they did not play better than Man City. I think that's a misconception. I think they played better than we thought they were because if you were to ask anybody, we were thinking this is a 3-0 game. So for them to kind of keep it close and have opportunities to maybe go ahead or actually get a result against Man City, we're giving them credit for that. But they did not play better than Man City. In every statistical category, Man City dominated them. So I just think these are one of the games at the end of the year where they just wanted to get a result. They have Champions League coming up. They just have more games coming up ahead of them. They wanted to try different things. But credit to Bournemouth for not sitting back. Credit to them for actually going for it. That's what I would give them credit for. Playing the game. Man City is always playing the game. You don't want to defend. You to go and attack. And it's just like I said, on another day, maybe they get a result, but it just didn't happen on the day they played. So, like I said, congrats to Bournemouth for playing better than we expected. But I don't think they dominated Man City. I think that's a misnomer, in my opinion.
All right, thank you very much. And Arsenal against Newcastle. A game that was like it was a very. I enjoyed the game very well, and I know my panelists also enjoyed the game very well because from the start you could tell straight that Arsenal wanted this. But let's look at Arsenal critically. For the last 4 matches that they played, 3-1, they beat Liverpool 3-1 at the Emirates. They went to London Park. They beat West Ham by 6-0. 6-0. Then they went to Burnley. They beat Burnley by 5-0. And Saturday, they beat Newcastle by 4-1. That makes it a total of 9 goals. Wow, in 18 goals. And they just considered 2. Wow. Arsenal are really on roller coaster. 3-1 against Liverpool, 6-0 against West Ham, 5 against Burnley, and 4-1 against Newcastle. Wow. Team needing goal share. Wow. Arsenal. Wow. They are doing good. Hopefully they will continue to the end of the season. Fifi, your take on Arsenal free scoring Arsenal. Like what is it? Free scoring.
First of all, if West Ham had lost today, you guys had only played bottom 10 mid-table teams. More relaxing. You're supposed to beat mid-table teams. If you look at the stand, Newcastle is 10th. West Ham won today. That's why they pushed up to 8th. But before that, they were 8th. Who else? You played Everton.
Burnley.
15th. You played Burnley. 19th. Chill out.
Okay, Liverpool.
You played Liverpool. You didn't score 6 or 7 goals, so please.
But what was the scores?
It was 2-1.
It was 3-1. 3-1.
3 in the cry, last minute goal in the cry. Yeah, More brain.
But on paper, it's
You've
3-1
played.
though.
You
Thank you.
listen. The only fixture you guys have done well is the Liverpool fixture,
Okay, at
but
least they did well.
we did well. Yes, that's you guys letting me understand. Okay, Arsenal is going to compete. I the goals are very impressive. I like the way you guys are playing. But when on the last show I told you this is a practice match. Newcastle's dealing with injuries, so it's a practice match for us now. I told you they were gonna beat them easily 3-0 or something like that because I knew Newcastle. Newcastle is in a very weird place with the FFP and all that kind of stuff. They're going through a lot, so I think this year and the injury and all that has really taken a toll on them. But from the get go, Arsenal dominated. My God. I don't know whether this is the part where maybe Eddie Howe, it's kind of catching up to Eddie Howe. In order to play his style, you need a deeper bench. And in order to have a deeper bench, you have to spend money. In order to do that, you have to sell your key players. Why? Because FFP. So it's like they like when you watch the post game, he said his players did not. This is what he exactly said. We did not come prepared, and I'm like, who is supposed to always keep players? Whose job is it to get players prepared? You know, Arsenal's play. They no longer invert. Kiwar is a wide player, so they keep him on the wide and they invert the other side of their left back. They invert their left back right and their right back. So guess what's gonna happen? They've taken Eric Gordon out of the game. Why? Because they're keeping a right back there to kind of stifle Eric Gordon. They bossed Newcastle midfield. Guimaraes was outnumbered. And that's where you see the work rate of Joe Linton. Longstaff can do a good, but Miley and Longstaff, come on. That is where the game was won. Arsenal won the game from the get-go. I mean, you're talking about Miley, Longstaff, and Guimaraes against Jorginho. And what did I say? I told you he's going to play the team that beat. He's going to revert back to the Jorginho and put in the Declan Rice up there. But knowing him and knowing him coming from that Pep Guardiola camp, watch him do it again at a game that he thinks his team has to win and they'll lose or play or mobile draw. And that's the part where I want Arteta to learn. Your team, watch this. When Declan Rice is playing a little bit further, you have Jorginho covering. You score more goals. I hope he looks at the stats. When he has that lineup, he scores more goals. Don't get cute, Arteta. You know what works. Ride it for another game or two. When your opponent figures it out, then you change it. But good win. Great win. Newcastle towards the end was trying, but they just didn't have enough. And when they figured out that Arsenal was actually going on the right side of Gordon and forcing Gordon to do too much, which was isolating Isak up by himself. And basically, they were putting a lot of pressure on Guimaraes. And like you said, Newcastle goes through Guimaraes, just like how Man City goes through Rodri. So if you take those people out, yeah, you win the whole game. And I think Arsenal, that was the best showing from. They were relentless. Relentless. As much as Kevin doesn't like Saka, yeah, I think he had a great game. So there you go.
All right, thank you very much, Fifi. Kevin, briefly on Arsenal. So far, the goals that they score and how they scored free scoring Arsenal. You think something new is about to happen this season, or it's going to be the same Arsenal that we know?
So I don't give them the Liverpool. They played better than Liverpool and they won, but Liverpool was dealing with injuries. That's fine. But every game after that, they've dominated every single team. Credit to them. This game was weird. Newcastle, it's like they didn't want to. I don't understand. It's the first time I've ever watched an EPO game where I'm like, they've paid these players not to play. It's the first time I've ever said that in my life. I didn't understand. They only had 3 shots in the whole entire game. Three, just three. I don't understand. Like, if you want to see how a game went and you didn't watch the game, there's two stats you always want to watch: shots. It's not shots on goal. Shots and fouls. Those are the two things. Because shots mean you're attacking. Fouls mean you're being aggressive. Those are the two things. If you don't have the shots, be aggressive. Both of them, Arsenal dominated. If you watch the game, it's like they were playing half pocket. The game was ridiculous. I mean, Arsenal, they were clinical. Like I said, they just played way better than Newcastle. I mean, they dominated them from front to start, front to finish. There's just nothing else to say. It's just Newcastle did not come to play the game at all. I mean, they were off their back foot, and the game just went like that the entire time. Second half came, same thing. They just did not have. They just didn't want to play. I guess they're dealing with injuries and things of that nature, but you can't play a whole entire game of football and only have 3 shots. It just that doesn't make sense. You should have 3 shots in the first 30 minutes of the game, at least, just to get your bearings. Will be. But they had 3 shots only. Arsenal had more fouls. I mean, Arsenal was being more aggressive, pressing them, trying to get the ball off them so they can go forward. So, in terms of this game, Arsenal it was a almost flawless game because they gave up a goal at the end. But in terms of just watching the game, Arsenal was just in terms of coaching, they were just getting out coached. I mean, they were playing their little tiki taka here and there, their little triangle sets when they get on the left side with Saka. It's the same thing every time I'm watching. This is why I don't like Saka. Why is no coach understanding when he gets the ball and he's on his left foot down? Odegaard is going to come and stand right in the pocket so that he has a two-way goal. It's the same thing every time. I don't understand why teams can't see this. If you ever next game while you watch Arsenal, if Saka gets the ball on the left, Odegaard will come and stand in the pocket. Literally, just watch. He will stand in the pocket, and then whoever the right back is will pull up. Now he has two options. He goes to Odegaard and he runs past, and then they do the 1-2, or he gets to Odegaard, or he goes to this side and they do the 1-2 so he can shoot. It's the same thing every time. Why can't these coaches? Oh God, have mercy. I can't stand Saka because he does the same thing every single time. And I'm not saying he's not a great player. I'm just saying as a player, these coaches are getting paid millions, and this guy does the same thing every time. Find a way to nullify that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like it just doesn't. But with that being said, the the evidence of greatness is you know what I'm going to do and you cannot stop it. So in terms of that, he's like you said, he's one of the best young players in the world. So I give him credit for that. It's just, but it's mind blowing that he does the same thing every time, and no team sees that he's gonna go two-way. Odegaard will stand in the pocket and he's going to go to where he gives the ball to Odegaard. He's going left or right. Let him go right. Do not let him go left because he's going to shoot. He's a left footed. Goes right, he's going to pass the ball back or he's going to cut it. It's the same thing every time. If you watch them play, same thing every single time, at least when he gets the ball. But nothing, like you said, greatness, these teams can't figure it out for some odd reason. And they just keep scoring. I think March 31st. Is that it? Is that the game against Man City?
Yes, sir.
That's the game against Man City. So we're gonna find out. But before then, I think it's March. I don't want to say is it. Let me see. Is it 16th or something? Something like that. They play a team wearing blue. Right now, they call it so free. But me doing. I mean, if you guys lose to that team, oh my God, and it's sure they ain't yet because it's gonna go crazy. Do not, do not, don't even try. Do not try. If you lose to that team, oh God, have mercy. This show will win. But like you said, just in terms of Arsenal itself, they're playing well. They're keeping up with everybody's winning. So win, 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 win. So Arsenal is the most impressive in terms of winning. But if Man City's winning 1-0, now we'll shrink for 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. Now we'll share Man City, now we'll show 1-0. Bro, your season is over. So, in my end of the day, that's the game I need to watch. It will come down to that. Once I can see that Arsenal can beat those teams, I'm talking about full strength. If Arsenal can beat Liverpool and Man City, you've already played Liverpool, the game's over. Man City is the next team. They're the team in front of you. You beat them, you go ahead. I think that's the game that will determine the season. To be honest with you, I think that's the game that determines the season. Liverpool, they're gonna do what they do, but that game will determine the season. And I can't wait to watch that.
That game too, it will be very nice. I'm telling you, it will be good game. And the game against that team too in London, that team has never beaten Arsenal for the past 3 seasons or something. So we see. So Fulham on a very bright Saturday came to Old Trafford, a place that used to be a fortress. And I was watching this game. I'm like, Fulham, why? Are you scared of United? They should have beaten United. But for some reason, they named United as the Red Devils. So when Maguire got the goal, I'm like, football can occur. And of course, the football gods rewarded Alex Iwobi, and it was 2-1 in favor of Fulham, which I think was a fair result because Manchester had the possession, corner kicks, shot on target, everything. But tactically, I think Fulham had played them, Eric Ten Hag, what is going on? Fifi, your take on that match?
Charlie, how do I put it?
Oh, try to put it something. I know it's painful, but you'll be all right.
Today I come as the sporting director because that's what we need. Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford. Bruno Fernandes. You let Alexi Iwobi look like prime time Iniesta. You let Kearney and Lukic look like fucking Busquets and fucking Deco. Oh, excuse my French. I'm sorry. Manchester United. When you asked me about this game, I told you you're either going to lose or play a draw. Why? Because it looks like Eric Ten Hag doesn't have a plan B. He's playing with this it's like either there's player favorites or there's like bench Marcus Rashford, bench Bruno Fernandes. Fulham came to Old Trafford. They made Fulham look like freaking prime Real Madrid when Ronaldo came to. We didn't even deserve.
I know.
We did not deserve the draw. This is what was happening. Bruno, we do a good job. We get the ball to Bruno. Mr. Hollywood pass will try a Hollywood pass. The ball gets intercepted. Bassi or whoever it is pushes the ball to Lukic or Alex Iwobi. Bruno tried to press by himself. Why? Because Mr. Marcus Rashford is walking. Fulham breaks the press by going wide and coming back inside. Why? Because they know Manchester United, Bruno is not going to come back. And then you see one-on-one break on our defenders. Eric Ten Hag, why did you send that young kid away to Spain or even sell him? We don't have left backs. Now we're playing your friend saying, Lindelof at left back. Like, there was no attack. Oh, right, me team way. Like I said, as the sporting director, I'll start work in as soon as May. My United fans, I will make sure, with the help of Ineos, that we do a lot of good things. This game was so disappointing, eh? Charlie.
Tomorrow, Manchester, you will win, okay? No worries. Grab yourself some tissue, whilst you wipe up your tears. It's okay.
We're even afraid to go, like, not, you sure, like, we don't even know what the team is going to do. Like, Nottingham Forest, let me tell you, say, like,
I think Kevin already know the scores between Manchester and Nottingham Forest. Kevin will tell us the scores. Anyways, Kevin, Fulham, Manchester United. Your take on that match?
1 second.
Okay.
Dasilva, this is bias.
Already.
I am not.
Hey! Respect
He
yourself. It's
needs
my
to be
time.
banned. He needs
Respect
to be
yourself.
banned.
Let's
My
He needs to
time.
be no. He needs to be banned for this action. This is a
Respect
bias.
yourself. Respect yourself.
okay. Fifi, let's give Kevin a chance.
Yes, give me a chance. When you were talking, I was very quiet.
Yeah.
You
But
understand?
Kevin, are we safe though? With these glasses and everything, are we safe?
Oh, we're safe because
Okay. Go
we,
ahead.
I'm going to explain to you what these Manchester United fans like to do. You see, he said before the game, we will either tie or draw. We will either draw or lose. So that when they lose, they want to so against. No, you lost to Fulham. Yes, that's who you lost to. We know that another team will come where you will talk about my team. No problem. But you lost to Fulham. One player gets hurt. We literally, one player gets hurt, and the Manchester United fan base is like, our season is over because Hoyland is hurt. You didn't say that when Chelsea had 7 or 8 players on IR. We had 7 or 8 players that were hurt the entire season. Just injuries. That team, we literally have the most injuries in the league. One player gets hurt, all of a sudden you can't play football. You don't know how to put a bench together. When it's happening to other teams, you people don't want to say anything. I told you, when you look at stats, you want to look at shots and fouls. Manchester United had more shots. That
Right.
means they had more possession, they had more shots. But Fulham had more fouls. They're being more aggressive, at least at the end of the game. Because, like he said, I don't know what's going on with Marcus Rashford. We need to talk about this because this kid, I remember when he came on the scene and he was the golden boy. I mean, he couldn't do anything wrong. But he's lazy. He doesn't defend. When he gets the ball, he makes usually the wrong decisions because he's taking too long to try to get around people instead of playing the quick passes. He's this is not it's not a good sign. I don't understand what's going on because he's a very talented player. You can't teach pace. He's a very fast player. He's a very good player when he's on form. But for now, he's just I don't know what's going on. I mean, the team needs to know that if he's going through some personal issues, maybe give him some time away from football so that he can because he's not there fully. Because you cannot there's a highlight of him, the player just gets by him and he's just literally watching. You can't do that. You can't do that. Or the um national televised game with all your fan base watching you. You cannot put that sort of effort out there for your fans to watch. See, here's the thing about thing, and this is what I would defend every fan. We're fans of our teams, right? Because they've given us either good memories back in the day. We we associate them with either our fathers or our families or our cousins. There's some sort of it's part of us. That's why we can't get rid of it. So as a fan, when we watch our team, I don't care if my team loses. I don't expect us to win every game. But what I expect as a fan is that my players, the players on the field, are putting in effort for the badge. That's what I expect as a fan. And if I was a Manchester United fan, Marcus Rashford there needs to be an investigation. I don't know if teams are paying him not to show effort because this player is not showing effort at all. And one of the panelists on this show, whose name will not be mentioned, was talking about Kobe Mainu. Let's clap for Kobe Mainu. What did he do in the game? Where's Kobe Mainu? The savior. This same panelist, I don't even want to bring this up, but I will bring it up. He had the authority to say that Kobe Mainu is better than Jude Bellingham. How dare you? Don't you ever do that. He's a good player. He's a young player. He's coming up. But do not compare him to world class. It's not the same. No. You have a team, Fulham. You are way better than Fulham. The reason why Alex Iwobi played because Chelsea legend Willian was hurt. and they put Iwobi there. This man has no literally. If you play, this man has no pace. He has no skill. He has no pass. He's just ordinary. I mean, literally, I can feel like we can go to our Friday league and we'll see Alex Iwobi on the pitch. That's what it feels like when he's playing. He does nothing special, nothing, and you let this man score you. But before I'll end it, like I said, Manchester United fans, we will not let you off the hook. You always want to talk. You want to laugh at other people. You want to rest on the laurels that Sir Alex Ferguson was doing in 1977, 1961, 1941, before Ghana even got its independence. That's the laurels you want to rest your laurels on. Oh, please. We're in the 21st century. What have your team done lately? Show me what you've done lately. Nothing. You have nothing to. You are just loud. You talk plenty. That's all it is. You talk plenty. Ten Hag. Oh, Ten Hag is the guy. Oh, yeah. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno, we love. All these players. As soon as your players start to lose, you turn your back. No. You better Tibiasra. Yes. Sit in your misery. You lost to Fulham. No problem. I know some media, but you lost to Fulham. Let that sink in. Manin Tnim, marinate. You know how to cook. Marinate. Marinate in your misery. Because you cannot show that sort of effort and become one. No. This is not way. And last thing before I leave, Calvin Bassey and Alex Iwobi. What do these two players have in common? Oh, they're Nigerian. They're Nigerian. So they were part of the Nigerian team that played in the finals for AFCON. And they didn't win a
Don't
cup.
you dare bring that up. Don't you
So
dare bring what
so
I think you're bringing
because
up.
If you let him finish, he has
Why
because
can't
Kevin
you?
15 seconds.
because Chelsea did not win a cup, you Manchester United got scored by people that did not win a cup. Oh, the irony. The irony. They went to Nigeria, they went to Ivory Coast and could not do nothing. They come to quote unquote the hardest league in the world. Calvin Bassey scores his first goal in the EPL. Alex Iwobi also scores a goal to win the game. And then they're doing the Amapiano on you. Oh, come on.
All right, Kevin, thank you. I think you have most of the time to put all your issues on board, and thank you very much. Viewers, you can get this only on Sports Chat. When Kevin is in the studio, when Fifi is in the studio, go and watch all the previous. We will not have a show without each crossing their path. That one, I can guarantee. A bit back to life. So the last topic before we said good night is the Carabao Cup or the League Cup, which came on yesterday against Liverpool, against Chelsea. And as I rightly said on Richmond TV on our last episode, the last time they met in Anfield, Chelsea beat Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool beat Chelsea. Two. So now going to the finals, was it going to be 2-2? And personally, oh Lord, I think luck eluded Chelsea. And again, Chelsea get these chances. Why can't they put those chances? Let me give you a little bit start before we zoom into discussion. 2009, Chelsea were in the finals of the same League Cup. They lost. 2020, they got in the final of the FA Cup. They lost. 2021, again, they lost at the finals. 2022 League Cup, they lost. 2022 FA Cup, they lost. 2024, they lost. And let me give you the margins too, which is because 2019, they were ahead 0-0 and Man City went ahead to beat them. 2020, Arsenal beat them. 2021, Leicester City beat them. 2022, they were ahead by Liverpool. Liverpool went ahead to beat them. And in the FA Cup, Liverpool went ahead on penalties again. And yes, just yesterday, watching the game, I'm like, what is wrong? Is it the players? Because this is they did everything. And the credit Chelsea fans, look, you should take from this particular defeat. I think it's about time you retire Thiago Silva. Your two center backs, they did very well. They need more consistency because now Thiago Silva has lost pace. He has lost yard. and everything. Kevin, I will start from you. That League Cup match, what actually went wrong? I know for the first time you'll be proud of your team. It's unfortunate you lost, but I think luck eluded you guys. What is your take on that match, Kevin?
To all Chelsea fans, listen to me. Listen very closely. The team that we are supporting is not a completed team. It's not. I see this all the time that Liverpool beat us with kids. They beat us with their second team. They beat us with unknown players. Just because the players cost a lot doesn't mean that all our players are young. First year, second year players on our team, same thing. So let's just get this notion here. This year is just one of those years where they're getting their feet wet. But let's just go to the actual game. What did we see? Shots, Liverpool had an edge, 24-19. Fouls, Liverpool had an edge, 21-14. What does that mean? Liverpool was the more aggressive team in the game. And they were. But the last two games, at least against Man City and Liverpool, Chelsea have this. We play this hybrid counter game against them. It's a very unique, and I like it because we don't necessarily sit back, but we do. It's there's a trigger in which we press, and there's a trigger that we don't. So we're not like Man City or Arsenal, or Liverpool, where we're pressing consistently. No, that's not how we do it. We will sit back here and there, but sometimes we'll press, right? So, like I said, in terms of watching the game, both teams had opportunities, but I say this all the time. If we cannot score a goal, if we can't score, oh my goodness. If you cannot put the ball in the back of the net against good teams, when you have opportunities, these things will happen. I say it all the time. Do not pray for a result. You play for a result. This is what I've been saying. We had great opportunities to win this game. Great opportunities. You can't tell me that as a Chelsea, no, you be at least in the beginning of the season when we were playing, we weren't playing that great. But in the last couple of weeks, we found something. Something. I think Dasilva mentioned it earlier in terms of our two center backs. I love those two center backs. Thiago Silva has been there, and I think that they've picked something from him. But the reason why I like them too is Disasi was an issue for me in the beginning. But I think he's gotten used to the league. He did the same thing Koulibaly did. If you ever watch when Koulibaly came into our league, he tried to play like the Italian league or the French league, where he's being aggressive. He's trying to go and take. No, you can't do that in this league as a center back. You gotta wait till it comes to you, and then you gotta make the play. But Koulibaly was trying to slide tackle everything. Like, no, you can't play like that. And he gets beat out, then he gets moved, and then it's over. We give up a goal. So these two center backs are now, like you said, we have a pairing. And the thing I love about Disasi is he plays the passes between the lines. He does not play side to side. If he gets a chance, he's playing it directly between the lines. That's what we need when we're being pressed. You need to be able to play a pass between the lines so that your player can come and because if you're playing side to side, they're just pressing you. They will eventually get you to a position where you have to kick the ball long or you have to keep it outside. So the fact that they're playing those passes in between the lines, that's what I love about that. It gives us a better opportunity to quote unquote counter teams because our center backs are playing the passes between the lines instead of playing the side to side. So that's the thing I love about it. Gusto. I know Reece James, to be honest with you, Reece James healthy, I think he's the best right back in the world. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's the best right back in the world when he's healthy. But Gusto is doing a good job of filling in. Doing a good job of being a Reece James imposter. Like I said, like the confidence. Chilwell is starting to prove himself that he can play in a four back. But I don't want to go on too long. I'm just saying I'm not the sporting director like my other panelists, but I am a concerned citizen of the Chelsea United. The Chelsea United Nations. Listen to me. All the board directors. Go and find a striker. Please. Somebody that can score goals. Jackson is not a striker, at least not yet. I'm begging you. We need somebody that can put the ball in the back of the net. We have the most missed chances in the entire league. If we put away half of the missed chances we are literally in the top 4 or 5 positions. Easily. This is not even a debate. You can look up the numbers. We need to find somebody that can put the ball in the net, please. How does Palmer miss that? Is that open? Oh my goodness. As a sports fan, like you said, it's a very stressful thing. And I get it as a sports fan. But here's where, like the Silver said, I am proud of my team because we showed fight. We wanted to fight. We Van Dyke 118th minute header. I mean, I could have criticized Pochettino for putting Mudryk in the game because he doesn't have the work ethic. You don't put him in that situation, but I'm just nitpicking. To be honest, that's just nitpicking. At the end of the day, I'm proud of Chelsea. As a Chelsea, we should have put our chances away. We didn't. Congratulations to Liverpool. It just seems like they have this sort of they're playing everything, they're doing everything they want to do for Klopp because Klopp is leaving. So, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm proud of my team. Congratulations to Liverpool for them winning the cup. Now, let's see if they can go ahead and send Klopp off right by winning the league. But as all Chelsea fans, we should be proud of our team, and we should know that this is a work in progress. This is not our finished product. This is our first year coach with a lot of first year players playing first team football. Literally, Levi Colwell, Gusto, all these players. Fernandez, first year in the league. Jackson, same thing. Kunku is coming off injury. But the Shield, the Sassy, all these players are new. Like literally, our whole team is new. So relax. It's okay. Relax. But you should be proud of your team. We'll see what happens by the end of the year. But Chelsea fans, don't worry. They'll laugh at you small, but don't worry. Relax.
All right, relax is the message from Kevin to all his fellow Chelsea fans. And I like I rightly said, I watched the game twice today, and I kept on saying it was just luck. They should be proud, and they should learn from Liverpool. They should give Pochettino some time to rebuild something better for them, and I think Chelsea can, come back again as challengers, contenders. How we know Chelsea to be. Fifi, your take on that match?
Yeah. Train when I'm game no, and I'm sure half an answer much the whole game. What do you mean by they were lucky? What's
Look, I said they were not
no,
lucky.
no. What's Whether you need to go and find what you need is a sporting director who will find you a striker. That Taboli, I'm telling y'all, relegation first, and besides, it's not Chelsea United, it's Chelsea FC. You guys will never ever be united, or Chelsea United. That shit will
Oh,
never.
no problem. There's also Sheffield United. There's also Sheffield United. So you people are
All right,
together. No problem.
Kevin, let him talk.
I gave you an opportunity to speak. Look, Jurgen Klopp, at some point, no mood that he was playing with you people. He took all his status, attacking status, and put in kids. When we're saying that you're playing against kids, we're not saying that you guys, like you said, even the kids in Omuji pay, right? Almost Omuji pay. What God knows what kind of instruction your Pochettino tells your players. When you guys were going to extra time, instead of you talking to your strikers to be more aggressive, you're talking to your defense to what? Go to penalties. Like what Pochettino? One of their center backs was some boy called Clark. Enzo Fernandez, World Cup winner, against Clark. What the hell is Enzo Fernandez doing? Gallagher. Look, Massa, you guys are useless. It's not about, relax or anything. Look, the way we're going to 10 years of mediocrity, that's what is going to happen with you guys. And Pochettino is not. How can you watch a match and you've gotten all these chances? Of course, you will not put away all these chances. This is what you guys have been doing for the past year. For the last year, you guys were not scoring. You guys average at least 60-something goals a season. Your best season was with Jose Mourinho, where you guys almost like averaged, like scored like close to like 90 something goals. And then all of a sudden you're talking about Disasi is a player that you like the way Disasi now is a player. My guy, you guys have something good with Disasi and Colwell, and that's what Dasilva was saying. But Massa, you guys are useless, and it's not about anything. Your coach is not utilizing the players. You still pick these players. You trying to tell me that Bojan is worse than Jackson? Go and look at how many goals Bojan has scored now. You need a sporting director who can work with Pochettino. That's what this sporting director thing is. Because Taboli is the one still making your deals for you. How the hell can you go and pick up that kid from Southampton and he's not ready to play? You guys are going towards that path of mediocrity. Buying super young players, putting them on 7-8 year deals, thinking they'll come through. I don't know anymore. Jackson, Gallagher. Look, Gallagher is a good player on a Crystal Palace team. Gallagher is not a good player on a Chelsea team. I'm sorry. That is why you guys saw what he did. The chances that he got. That is why you saw what you did. They need to figure out how to get that boy, that I forgot what his name is, from Southampton and Mukutu at 50-something million to play alongside Casado and put Enzo up there and take Gallagher off. We wasted Palmer life. Wasting his soccer life.
I need to rebuttal.
All the Chelsea fans, they knew
he's spreading lies. I need to rebuttal.
Youth players. Youth players. We remember Jack. I said you are lucky. You ain't lucky.
All right. Okay, let's agree on something. Whether Omwasa coach, I think the bottom line is if they give Pochettino some time, they will gel. And again, Manchester United, I don't know if you have to give this man chance, because I think for him, Pochettino, the only thing I have with him, I haven't seen him he hasn't won any major trophy. His days at Southampton, I mean, you can't blame him at Southampton though, because I mean, then he came to our Spurs, and now I think Chelsea is a club that he can do something when they give him time. And as rightly said, the same thing applies to Manchester United. Some players, Rashford and co, who are not allowing them to gel. So I think it all points to the sporting director, coaching, and everything, because Poch should bring his players, not that your owner can sign and bring in any other player. Kevin, 60 seconds. You wanted to say something. 60 seconds.
Yes, he was spreading lies, so I need to correct him.
All right, 60 seconds.
Actually, Chelsea is the younger team on the pitch against Liverpool. We actually had a younger team than Liverpool.
Agreed.
So let's get the way. Secondly, he says we don't score goals. Let's look at the table. Yes, Manchester United is 6th. Very good for you. They have 36 goals for them and 36 goals against. Chelsea is 11th. Not very good, but we have 42 goals for. So even though we don't score goals, we score more than you. Don't spread the lies.
All right.
Don't spread the lies.
They said they score more
some
goals.
things here and there, okay? I'm telling. And then one more thing for Arsenal. Raya is a problem. I've said this before. I will say this again. You need to put Ramsdale back in the goal. And yes, he will cost you a game. That's all I'm going to end it with.
Calvin think Raya is a problem. Some think Raya is also helping distributing. Fans, Arsenal, bring your comments. Let's see. Fifi thinks Chelsea are son. Chelsea also think Fifi get your fast right. And I love it when these two meet. So viewers, I think one day we should have a debate on our teams. Rep your team debate. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Rep your team debate. That is where we will open it. You be beautiful now for history, Yeah, fun left, right, and center. Left, right, and center. Kevin, what do you think? Fifi, what do you think? We should do that, right?
You should do it to 10th. No, Arsha Sordal Conquest. Some chair, Manchester United. What to 10th? That's a quota, baby.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Who finished this 6? They finished 10. I'm no trophy, Benny. We need it. And yet the same thing now.
Okay. Ceasefire. Ceasefire. I'm about to give I'm about to give the first 4 teams in the EPL. If you hear your team, say present. Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, Aston Villa. Okay, I didn't hear present from Nalo. Okay,
no,
so
let's do that.
thank you very, very much. This is where we bring the curtains down.
64
Come,
Omoko a Europa. Your body Europa teams. We told to test
viewers. All right, Fifi, since your mic is still up, your last words before we sign up.
All right. Oh, once again, thank you, viewers, for that outlandish statement from my co-host over there. But once again, we're bringing you nothing but the heat. Chelsea for Munimu Guase. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to Richmond TV with the host Dasilva. Like I said, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. We want to hear your comments. Comments. Chelsea fans out there, Ghana for America, wherever you are, man, tune in and let me hear your comments of how you're disgraceful team. By the end of the day, Arsenal, good job. We're bringing you nothing but highlights and talk from like the team. We want you guys to join. Also, please, Charlie Munhia Kente, wow, but worry, Charlie. Cuffing season about weather near Barber, spring, summer. One said that time is when Charlie girls see a month for I do. So like if you want the nothing but the latest Kente, like remember the silver kind of the Kente is woven here on my yes, on with the machine up behind me, so my and then could be ramper skill skin. On the machine up behind so you don't have to wait for somebody to do it in Ghana and ship it over. So please reach out to Agape LLC. We'll post the thing on here for Auntie Maggie, no friend and the voice that dead and to be able to making sure so over show it cheap. But once again, this is Manchester United sporting director signing out. I have to go and write a few a few scouting reports and stuff. Manchester United, we're coming back. Manchester United, we are red. Manchester United, let's go. One more time. Peace.
All right, thank you very much, Fifi. Kevin, your last words.
Thank you, viewers, for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, Richmond TV. Thank you so much for sharing the link. Tuning in to watch Sports Chat with Dasilva. There's been a lot of discussions here today. One thing I don't like is when people spread lies. I think it's not good for the economy. It's not good for the ecosystem for lies to be spread. Last time Manchester United won a trophy was 2016. Paul Pogba was still dabbing. Hey, that bro macho. But anyway, I digress. Jose Mourinho was your coach, a Chelsea legend. You're welcome. I digress. But anyway, all jokes aside, we always come here. This is all fun and games, like I always say. If we talk about your team in a way you don't like I said, these are all opinions. These are all fun and games. These are things that we see on the weekend or on the weekday when we're watching the games. We're just here to talk about what we see and have an entertaining debate back and forth with our counterparts. So, like I said, thank you, Dasilva, for giving us the platform and the opportunity to come and speak our mind, to kind of give our opinions on what we see and what we think, and to show our allegiance to our teams, to also reach out to the many viewers around the world. I know there's a lot of people watching from Africa, from all over the world. So thank you so much for tuning in as well. So Sports Chat with Dasilva. Please subscribe to Richmond TV. It really helps the channel out a lot. It helps Dasilva and the crew be able to bring you this production, right? It also helps for them to be able to broadcast this production to a wider audience. So please subscribe, share the link. Just know every time we come on this platform, we're coming with that heat. We're coming with the facts. We're coming with the punchlines. And I'm telling you, somebody made listen, Chelsea fans, let me tell you something. Omo kasa bebree. But both teams, Grofana more platform. The last trophy that was won was by us. Respect yourself. That's all I will say. We won the last trophy. Champions League. When? League title.
Or
When?
okay.
Manchester
Thank
United
you.
are a useless team. Don't listen to them. But anyway, thank you so much. We'll see you again next time. Too sure.
Thank you very much, Calvin. Thank you very much, Fifi. Hey, sign out crying ye. And I done your whole manifesto. Calvin and Fifi. We will hear you. As Calvin rightly said, because it's bad for the ecosystem, it's bad for the economy. You can only get this on Sports Chat. Thank you very much, Fifi, for joining. Thank you very much, Kevin, for joining. This has been a very nice discussion. We plan not to go long, but look, when we start talking about sports, just a topic no be ba. Viewers, this is where we bring the curtains down. Yapon. Time ben asui. What time is it? It's time for Agape Traditional LLC. Yes. ATL. Agape Traditional LLC. Me say, Ope Ukente, African way, Chow Chow, Kumadie, Papua, Yapamuno, whatever. Dear na Ope, a bruning katia yachi, a bruning katia oria, it add color to your life, a bruning katia oria, a mawini che. A bruning katia anya doctor ne prescribe a antimagia no base wa na waye, or siri na unkwanwa, when so umpe na pedie. Number ne media mamono, for telephone 240-898-6931. 240-898-6931. Agape Traditional LLC. Freno. Upebi wa Ghana so a freno. Obe sort out. She. Oba se wa na ni bi di agro no. Baby a bi wo bi obe fa obe voto kro bi mu akoyama. Na ohu abon se kente ampa ye wo mu ahoro. Viewers, this is where we bring tonight's production to an end. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe, like, comment as always for us to bring you more. Yapon, I will see you when you see me. Bye-bye.